Hey guys, it's Andy here, and today I'm making a helmet. To be exact, it's going to be a foam helmet, kind of like this chap here is sporting. Now this is a very thin and flimsy foam. I just used it as a prototype, but this is the general look I'm going for. What I'm using is EVA floor mats. It's about 10 mil thick, so it'll get, actually this is probably about 12 mil thick, this stuff. It's a bit scabby, but it'll do what I'm looking for out of that sort of helmet fine, because I'm going to give it some weathering and some dents and dings looking anyway, so the fact that it has some scrapes in it is not going to faze me at all. So should be able to fit it all in one mat, hopefully, because I only have one left. This is a very quick mock-up here. What you'll find is that it's split into, well, basically it's split into half, symmetrical, and then each half is 3 sections, just so it makes it easier to get that curve. Okay, so I've got one section that runs all the way around the back. Spin that round like that. One here, and then one here. With the thicker foam, it'll be a lot easier if I use the different sections. Okay, just going to cut this out. Cut this apart. Now, sharp knife with foam. I could buy replacement blades, but I'd be going through them so quickly. Now, what I'm going to do is cut some darts in this so I can line it up easier. If I don't, then it'll be very difficult to line this all up. The thing with these being made out of foam is actually I'll be able to reuse them if I want to as well. But card would be perfectly fine, and actually maybe a little bit better. What I've got here is my 3 pieces, which I will then flip over to create my other 3 pieces for the other side. Right, there you go. There's some pins. Okay, put another one over here. Right, now I can cut around them. You could draw around them, take them away. I'm just going to cut around them as is. And this is where I really want to make sure my knife is nice and sharp. Oh no, I dropped a piece. Luckily, it's made of foam, so it won't break. Yeah, in fact, pop these on this little bit below. Great. Making sure I'm keeping my blade at 90 degrees to the table, or 90 degrees to the foam to be exact, which is flat on the table. So. not, it might make life a little tricky when gluing it. Now I've got all my pieces ready to go, and basically before I glue these together, I'm going to give them a little heat up. Now I don't want it too hot because I don't want to burn it, but I want it enough just so I can get a bit of pre-shape in it, just so it makes it a lot easier for getting it glued together. Thick foam, so it will take a bit of heat, trying to get it nice and even. Like that. We're just going to try and get it to that shape that we're kind of. You see it's got a bit of cuts in it already, but that's okay. I'll change that up later on and probably maybe even make it bigger, make it look like a battle scar. So there we go, and that's gonna, kind of sit like this. So it's pretty good shape. We'll spring back a bit, but once it starts getting glued together, it'll start holding its shape a bit better. So that's it cooled down, so I'm just gonna pop that to the side and do the same to the rest. So, content cement, ready to go. And if you have all your pieces ready to go, you can, because you need to leave this until it basically almost dries, and you could do most seams and always work one ahead of yourself, so you're letting one piece dry while you're gluing another piece together. Alright, so you want to line up your darts. I'm going to make sure I specifically line up this back edge because that's where the other piece is going to connect to. Just taking my time. I may have to push and pull a little bit. The weight gain. That looks pretty dry. There we go. Push all these seams together. Now, the better your seams, the less work you have to do at the end. So make sure to take your time and get your darts all lined up. And you'll need less filler, less sanding, and save a lot of time for about 5 minutes extra work at this stage. is it for the gluing, hopefully. And there we go. Definitely not fitting. What I'm going to do is I've got some thin stuff, thin EVA foam. It's orange, doesn't really matter because I'm going to paint it. And I'm going to put a nice little piece of beading around this. So I'll cut out some thin strips, and then I'll start gluing on some nice beading just to give it a little bit extra texture to it. You could totally paint it like this. Got my helmet finished up. Just come outside to give it a quick sand. It's going to be a bit of a rough and ready helmet. It's not going to have a massive amount of finishing work, and because I got my seams real nice and tight, it's not going to take too much anyway. Layers of the paint I'm going to use as well will help fill in a little bit of details, but I don't mind some of them. Okay, I will fill in some of the cracks and give it a little sand, hand sand, but to get the most of the ridges away, or peel sander. That should do it. It's got fuzzies on it, so I'm going to get a finer grit hand sand to it and then hit it with the heat gun, and it'll be ready for a sealing layer of paint, which I put latex into. Let's give it a blast with the heat gun. So you could use a couple of things to prime this with. You could use some Plasti Dip spray. You could use PVA or Mod Podge. I'm going to use latex, and I'm actually going to pigment my latex with some just acrylic paint. This is just basic acrylic paint. This is a charcoal color because this is going to be kind of a dark, kind of silvery metally gray anyway. So give it a little base color in it to start with, make my life easier later on. Now it'll look a lot lighter because of the latex, but the latex will dry clear and it'll give me a nice flexible paint base. If I was to use just plain acrylic, it would just crack off. So get some of this layered on. Not too thick. If you do too thick, it's going to take ages to dry. So thin layers, and you can always come back and do another couple of layers. What I'm doing is using my brush strokes and making sure they're all kind of uniform, so that if there is any texture left, it's going to look a lot better, maybe more like the grain on steel. Or certainly a worn steel. So. Okay, so that's ready to go. I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'll apply a couple more layers, and then we'll be ready for some spray paint to make it a bit more metal looking. Leave that to dry, come back and put some masking tape on and lay down the silver. All masked up, let's get sprayed. Take off this tape, see how it looks. Looks pretty good. These are just acrylics. And I'm just gonna get into it and wipe some away. Most of it will come off this paint, so, which is good for what I'm trying to do. Oh yeah, that's looking good. And Cal, you're not allowed this. This is not yours. Just gonna highlight some corners, some edges. So there we have it. One awesome looking helmet, battle scars and everything, waiting to be adorned by young sir. It ain't fitting me, but hopefully it fits him.